Hey, we are live. Did I say noon? I think my software thought I said 12:30. Well, technically 12:26. So here we go. Hi everybody. I'm Mobile Mary with another brilliant idea. And let's be real. I'm using new software this morning because my old software decided it was done. So here I am using Wave Video, which I absolutely love, but I haven't had the opportunity to use it much because I've been using my old software for so long, it just became habit, right? But I think today someone is telling me that I need to switch over to the software full time because this is working and my old wasn't. So if you are here, please chime in. Again, this is new software. I haven't used this maybe once or twice in the live streaming capability. I use it for all the other capabilities it has, but I want to make sure I can see where your comments are coming in. So again, please, if you're watching this live, comment so I can definitely test out all the software tricks and treats because it is really cool. I just, again, haven't used it in a while. So we are in this together. So if you were here because you like this topic, here we go. 3 ways your business can benefit from Thanksgiving. Oh goodness, here is the love of my life, Steve Areno. Thank you so much. So it is working. So that's awesome. So, okay. So anyway, so thank you so much for being here, Steve. I appreciate it. And we are definitely going to get into the content right now because, oh my goodness, Karen figured it out. Yes. I love it, Lynn. That's awesome. Okay. And also, I'll just be really transparent with you. Years ago, before I started using a third-party software, I set up this feature on Facebook in my business page. And I know my way around social media, but I cannot figure out how to turn it off. I have been in the back end. I have gone through all these things. I've asked advice from people. I've done all the things, but for some reason, thanks for chiming in will not turn off. And so if you know that or can find out that answer, I will do something really nice for you because it's just driving me crazy. Automation should be your friend, not your foe. And right now it is doing that. So see, every time it's chiming in with Mobile Mary. So Karen, if that keeps popping up on your thing, just ignore it and we will make sure that we get that taken care of. Okay, so if you have a business and you're thinking, oh my gosh, there's 2 months left in the season, what am I going to do to make sure my business explodes and then kicks off 2023 with a bang, right? We all want to do that. I think we're all tired of the last 2 or 3 years and we want to get back in the mode of feeding our family, right? Of making the best and use of all these amazing tools so we can make enough money to bless the world, right? That's what we're here to do. So I want to go through that. So let me go to my chat feature or my caption feature on the software. And look at this. Wow, isn't this an awesome feature? They have all these built-in little things. So awesome. So let's get to the first thing. So we're talking about, again, the 3 ways that Thanksgiving season can benefit your business. So the first one is it gives you the opportunity, and let me know if I sound okay in this as well. It gives you the opportunity to thank your customers, your vendors, and your staff. I was actually going to stop at that one and make those the 3 things, but I came up with 2 other ways you can use Thanksgiving. So I combined all this into the first point or the first tip. How do I say this? It's very important to, especially on social media, to be a real human. And a real human, especially this time of year, thanks their vendors, thanks their customers, thanks their staff. Like, let's say offline. So somebody comes into your store, they buy something, they order something for the holidays, or maybe it's cookies for Thanksgiving, or it's a new service that they are needing, right, for the holidays. Maybe a new table if you're a furniture store for their family coming over, or new couch or new carpet or something like that, right? You're going to thank them and say, wow, thank you so much for using our service or buying our product, right? You thank them in person. It's very important to also thank them on social media and other forms of media. In your email is a form of social media, right? On your website, but especially we're talking today about social media. So thank them. Make this month a way, especially during this month, because of course it's all about Thanksgiving. So we're talking about being grateful, but even through December, make it a point at least once a week to thank either the group of customers as a whole, or better yet, thank an individual customer. Maybe it's a customer that's a group. So maybe it's like a school and you're thinking the school is an entity. Or maybe it's one specific teacher that buys products from you on a regular basis. Let's say you're a paper distributor or an office supply, right? And you're going to say, I want to thank Mrs. Bushnell for, because she's a teacher. Thank you, Karen, for being here. Or maybe it's Linda. Shh, we won't say. Thank you so much for regularly buying your school supplies with us every year. It blesses us, and we're glad that we could be in your classroom with you through our supplies. That makes your class more enjoyable, more organized, more creative, whatever you want to say, right? People love that. It's also important to thank our vendors. As I always say, rising tides rising tides lifts all boats, right? So when you go out of your way to thank a vendor, you're helping them up, you're bringing them up into the spotlight and sharing their expertise and their quality of service with other potential customers, right? So not only have they helped your company, but you're helping them help other companies, which is awesome, right? So when you say, oh my gosh, I can't live without this like through what we do with our full service marketing service called Promote Me program. I was just shouting out, I don't know if it's been posted yet, but we're shouting out each one of our vendors. And this week we're shouting out our photographer, Rachel, who had just did an amazing job at our last VIP intensive, that she came and we just had this really fun photo shoot with our customer, made her feel amazing. And I wanted the world to know how awesome she is. So that is one way to thank your vendors. And then your staff as well. And she kind of is both vendor and staff. But that's the thing. Like if you own, like one of our customers is Crumbles Cookies in Corona, California, the original since 2005. They're always thanking their staff members, because without their staff members, they can't make fresh cookies every day and delicious cinnamon rolls and pumpkin loaves and scones and serve their gelato, right? They need their team, their staff. So it's really important to highlight your staff members who help make you look really good, right? Exactly. Oh, Karen is here. She has a stack of postcards. I need to send a thank customer. And that is amazing. You're doing it the old fashioned way, right? You're literally doing handwritten cards. I love that. That is a awesome way to thank customers, staff, as well as vendors. They really appreciate it. Yes. So the sound is good. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate it. And speaking of staff, Karen helps us out as well. I'm always so grateful of her help when anyways, we can talk about that later. But I am a little discombobulated today because of the whole tech thing. And Karen was the one who actually said to me, hey, girl, are you going live? And I appreciated that accountability. Yeah, it was just one of those hot messes when tech doesn't work. So, and I'm the first to love technology, but I think sometimes we all need a little help, right? Need a little help from our friends. Yes. Steve, is true. You're right. Handwritten notes mean more than money, right? Money gifts. Like if you were sending out like a $5, I would rather get a thank you. Steve used to say when we were first in business, he says, I think you'd rather work for kudos than cash. Because I was always so filled up with words of affirmation, right? When people told me that I was doing a good job, that what I did mattered in their business. When I get a text from customers who say, like Crumbles Cookies, for example, they'll say, wow, that last text blast you sent out cleared our case. We sold out completely within 3 hours. She sends me like a picture of her cookie cam with an empty case and tells me how much that blesses them. Or she'll tell me this year is 20% year over year, or end of business this month, or whatever it is. I love to know that I'm having an impact. So if you have vendors or staff members or customers that have made a difference in your bottom line, share that with them, because that will totally make their day. I love it. Okay, so number 2 of the tips to make Thanksgiving more beneficial to your business is this month kicks off the holiday shopping for B2C brands, which is business to consumer, and it kicks off the end of year budget spending for B2B, which is business to business. So depending on how your business is set up, meaning if you sell directly to consumer or if you sell to another business, right? If you're a service vendor to another business, there are budgets that they need to spend before the end of the year so that they can get a new budget for the new fiscal year, right? So we have military customers, and they say that's what they say is we have to spend this much money by the end of this time. So what can we do to make sure that we get our budgets next year, right? In fact, I was just talking to one of my customers who had something very similar. They actually said that they got a call from one of their vendors and said, we love what you're doing and we appreciate your cost cutting measures, but we need to spend another $2,000 to clear up. I can't remember what the project was. And so my friend was telling me like, it was such a surreal thing. It's like normally people are asking how to cut their budgets, but in this case, they're asking if you could spend it. Now, it wasn't just they were throwing it into the wind. He had to do something, obviously, to provide service for that money. But that's the thing. People have money that they're looking to spend, especially, again, I'll show you that we're talking about the B2B. They need to spend that money so they get their next year's allocation. And it comes with government. Sometimes there, again, is allocations, or if they have grants that they need to spend with nonprofits. And you could provide a service for that. So sometimes people think, oh, I should pull back during the holidays and just focus. People are focusing on their families and they don't need any more services. No, actually, this is the exact time that you should be reaching out saying, is there anything we need to do for you before the end of the year that would be of service to you that might help finish out your budgets for the year? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's very important to reach out and say you acknowledge their, how they're doing their business. And if you could be of any service to that, you'd be surprised at what you might be able to sell in the last 2 months, right, of the year. And if you're selling B2C, business to consumer, that is so important. Obviously, with the holidays, people want to give a gift for service. If it's for their clients or vendors, they want to give gifts to their family, to their friends, longtime clients or customers or vendors. It's really important. And if you provide a way to do that, don't shrink away from it. Right? If they love your service or your product all year, I bet they'd love to, double down and give these things to their friends. If they value them, they probably will means that their friends will probably value them. So yeah, so there you go. So that's number 2. So it kicks off the holiday shopping or the end of year spending spree. And make sure that happens, right? Because then you're starting off with a brand new budget for next year. Or when people are going to be buying through the holidays, maybe now their friends will say, oh my gosh, I love this. In the case of Karen Rashid, I love these oils. They make my house smell so deliciously wonderful. And she was telling me, actually, Karen was telling me a story for her. One of her customers actually said that smells in her home were giving her husband headaches. So the Glade air fresheners or the candles or whatever scents that she was using, her husband always was getting a headache. So Karen wisely said, well, why don't you throw away everything that creates a scent in your home, and I'll help you replenish things that will help clean your home scent free, or help you create scents that won't give them a headache because they're non-toxic. So she actually created a one-time perfumery class just for this client. And they came over and she helped the wife with the husband there pick a fragrance made out of essential oils that not only didn't give him a headache, but he actually enjoyed smelling. So that's a win-win, right? We want our husband to think that we smell wonderful. So I thought that was so brilliant of her. She created an opportunity. Now, because she has created this template, she can then turn around and help other people do the same thing, right? So this might be a great time of year for you, Karen, to reach out to your customers and say, hey, if you love these scents, how about we come over to a perfumery party, which I know she has done. And for the holidays, you can bring your gift recipient to be a part of this. And this could be an experience, right? So let's say, Karen, I'm speaking to you, and because you're an oil distributor, that you could say, hey, why don't you bring over everyone in your family who you want to create this experience for? And this will be part of your gift, the experience of making your own scent for cleaning, for perfume, for what do you call it when you diffuse the oil in the air? People would love that, right? So they're getting an experience. I think sometimes, like I've told my children, I don't want gifts anymore. I mean, I love them. That was very sweet and thoughtful, and it's something that they think I would treasure. I think that's great. But actually, I prefer experiences because you know what? Life is short, and I'd rather have an experience with them than a thing, right? That can collect dust. So I'd rather go on an adventure, like take a trip or do an outing or experience something like a cooking class or doing something, right? So for Karen, creating an experience with that perfumery class with People's Loveton would be awesome. I think that would be so awesome. So again, if you sell products or services and you can think of a way that you can create an experience with it, that not only is another way to offer that as a solution for someone to buy for you during the holidays, but it creates something that you can upsell, right? So not as like, let's say the products are $100, but with this experience, it's $200. You're doing the exact same thing, but you're creating an experience that that's a memory maker. And it will last much longer than whatever it is that you make, right? I just love that idea. Okay, so all right, let me go back. One thing about this software, it doesn't show me the comments at the same time. I have to click that different button. Yes. So Karen said, yes, her husband made her throw out her $100 perfume. They came over and they love the fragrance. It smells like expensive perfume. Yes, it is fun to be a blessing. I love that. Yeah, when you told me that story, Karen, I was like, wow, that is so amazing. Yeah, I'm glad you like the idea. Yes, I love that. So I think that is, let's see, this post to all destinations. Again, this software is new and I want to make sure that it's working. Yeah, let me know if I can tell a little bit about where you're coming from on the side with the little graphics. But let me know if you're watching because I'm streaming live on YouTube. In fact, let me double check if I am. I'm supposed to be live on YouTube. I'm supposed to be live on LinkedIn. Yes, I am. Awesome. I'm also supposed to be live on Instagram. So I want to make sure that I am doing all the things. Okay. By the way, if you are following me on Instagram under Mobile Mary, or even I have it connected to my personal page, I actually share, if I can speak, story. Yesterday was a really fun story. I was actually at Fashion Island, which is a very fancy shopping center, and it was kind of drizzly, so there weren't that many people there. And so I walked through it after my lunch day with a new customer or client, and I saw they were putting up a giant Christmas tree. And so I was, filming going, oh my gosh, it's the season's starting. Of course it is, right? They were putting up a 90-foot Christmas tree. 90 foot. Wow. So I kind of started talking because, I'm such a shy person. I started talking to the guy who was installing it. And I was asking because it looked like a real tree, but how there's no way it was a real tree. It was a real tree. And what they did is they got branches from other trees and they would drill them in to make it fuller, and then they would decorate it. And let me know if you want to know how much that costs, because of course I have to ask. I'm like, hey, I'm just curious, like, what do you charge the Fashion Island people, for installing this tree that is so big and beautiful and you're doing such an amazing job, right? You'd be amazed what people will tell you when you ask. And that's my thing. I just like to, tell me about that. And then people just tell me everything, right? So let me know. Oh, Karen says she's on Facebook. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. So if you're on LinkedIn or YouTube or Instagram, let me know because I want to see if it's working. And LinkedIn, or I should say, LinkedIn is supposed to show me. Oh, I am. All right. Very cool. Well, there you go. I look like a dork. It's showing me in the cover of my LinkedIn page. So it works. Awesome. Okay. Okay, so let me know if you want to know how much that 90-foot tree installed and decorated cost them. I was like, oh, wow, I guess they make a lot of money here. So there you go. Okay, so number 3, so you've got that. Okay, so number 3 of I'll put this up again. Number 3 in the 3 ways that Thanksgiving season can benefit your business is November and December is an excellent time to plan your 2023, yikes, 2023 plan based on your end of year projections, right? So EOY is end of year. So that's what I'm saying is sometimes people based on their industry this is a slow time. So if you aren't in a place where you're selling actively for holiday or helping people and spend the end of their year budgets, which I can't imagine that would be the case in either way. But and I know that this time of year gets very full with holiday plans, right? But they really haven't started yet, right? Your holiday parties and all that kind of stuff really isn't happening until the third week of November. So this being the second week of November, right? Is it, or is it the first week? Let me know. Let me know what this is. We are in, I guess it's the second week, right? We're at the beginning of the second week. And today is election day. So again, side note, squirrel, I hope you have voted because it's very important, especially this year, to get out and vote and let your voice be heard. I think a lot of times people will say, oh, it doesn't really matter. I live in a blue state or I live in a red state and I'm the opposite. And why should I bother? It matters. Every vote matters, right? And my mother always said, if you don't vote, you can't complain, right? And she was a very active helper in all that. She would help people get to the polls because she realized everyone's voice needs to be heard. And we as American citizens have earned the right, well, like our forefathers have, helped us earn the right to vote. So I hope you're doing that. So anyways, so everything's been crazy with all the election stuff, right? But as of today, it ends. So between now and Thanksgiving, which I believe is the 24th, we have time to focus on what we want to do in 2023, which I can't believe is going to be 2023. That's just crazy to me, right? I think that this is the time where we could step back, kind of take a global look at our business, what has worked and what hasn't worked. And we, there's a saying, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, that's the definition of crazy, right? Right? Is that, did I say it the right way? And so we don't want to do that, right? We want to look and see. And if something we've been doing over and over again really isn't bringing in the revenue or isn't having the same impact or getting you to the right end goal that you have in mind, it's time to change paths, right? Or change direction or adjust things and look and see what's working, what's not, and then remove. This is a great time to say, okay, this is the end of the year, so I'm going to stop doing X and I'm going to focus on Y. Or we're completely reshifting our business and these are the things that are working for our customers or working for us. We're going to keep doing more of that and we're just going to phase out the old way, right? There's no shame in that game. Yes. Hey girl, how are you? Yay. Thank you so much. Leanne and I went to high school together and we both haven't changed a bit, have we? I love that. You're so sweet. And so Karen just said, how much? What are you talking about? I don't know. I don't know. So let me know what your question is. And so that's the thing. So this is an excellent time of year to stop and reevaluate and see what we can do because, right, we are put on this earth for a purpose and we want to make sure that we're doing all we can to help others in our pursuits, right? So look and see what that is. So again, November and December is a great time to reflect and say, okay, let's move forward and do whatever's going to work best for ourselves as well as for our customers. So just to recap, all of the love here, I really appreciate all of you guys. Oh, how much? I am such a dork. Yes, how much for installing the tree? Okay, drum roll, please. Oh, Linda M is on Facebook Live, I think. I love it. Okay, yes. So I am not wrong. I know about us not looking any different from high school, right? Yes. So I know I'm such a dork. Okay, so just to recap what we had said, but yes, Karen wanted to know how much the tree. Okay. I didn't tag them when I said on my story, if you want to know, let me know, because I didn't want to get anybody in trouble. But I don't think that that Fashion on Paper are listening now. So anyways, he told me that it's a 90-foot tree, right? And to install and decorate this tree, which is a real tree, it was $1,000 a foot. $1,000 a foot. 90 feet. Do the math. That tree cost them $90,000. to install. And I said, wow, is this your only tree you're selling? He goes, oh no. And he started listing off, places definitely on the West Coast. And I said, what about New York and Rockefeller Center? He goes, oh no, that's somebody else. But they were doing trees from San Diego all the way up through Los Angeles. And I think it was mostly all Southern California. But they were busy bees. This was their time of year to shine, right? And they probably make enough during November and December, talking about end of year, right? Probably sustains them for the rest of the year. 90,000. Now, of course, they have expenses, getting the tree, the trucking, the equipment, all that kind of stuff. But you have to go to my stories, both on my Instagram story as well as my personal Facebook story, and check out how beautiful that tree is. But yeah, 90,000. You think your services can be justified of charging more money for them, right? They obviously were willing to spend that money because it made their shopping center a go-to for pictures and all that wonderful stuff. So I think it's just a reminder to us that we need to charge what is our value, right? Yes. It's like, oh my, right? Can you imagine spending 90,000? Well, anyways, we're not a giant shopping center that charges, $10 for a cup of coffee. So there you go. Anyways, hey, I just want to thank all of you that came on, and I'm sorry for the delay today. And I would love to know what you think about this software versus the software that I was using before. It's got some cool features. I think I have to, play with a little bit more so I can don't look so like freaked out about it. But I really appreciate your time being here today. And let me know if any of the tips that I gave you are helpful to you and what you're going to do. How are you going to implement those? Because I think that's important. I mean, you can hear all the amazing, like we can Google everything and learn everything online, right? But if we don't put those items into action, then we're no better off. We just wasted our time, right? So again, the 3 things that I stated was, just to recap, if anybody just jumped on, Thanksgiving season is an excellent time to thank our customers, our vendors, and our staff. Rising tides lifts all boats, right? So when you showcase how amazing someone is in your life, other people are watching, which I didn't mention this before. Other people are watching and they're seeing how you deal with what's your character of your business, right? And if your business is thanking customers individually, they're like, I want to be a customer, so I'm thanked, right? Or if they're vendors, and I used to, at the beginning of our business, 34 years ago, we started off doing event marketing, and we had vendors that were lighting tech and, audiovisual and decor and catering and all that kind of stuff. One thing was the biggest compliment to me is that my vendors said that they really loved working with me versus some of the other event planners because I was grateful to them. I bought food for them. I gave them water, which I know sounds weird, but a lot of other event planners weren't taking into consideration to help make their vendors' lives easier and better during the event. So I was so honored and blessed that they wanted to work for me, and they would give me better pricing because I was easier and more fun to work with, right? So the same thing for you. If your vendors are making your life easier, thank them publicly so they can get more business, right? And thanking your staff. Right now, one of the biggest issues not one, there's millions of issues. But right now, employment is so hard. People either aren't willing to work or they're not willing to work for the money that they're being paid. I don't know. There's things going on. But if you are showcasing your staff and they're basically sharing how awesome it is to work with you, you're not going to have a problem hiring talent that is good at what they do because everyone loves being thanked and recognized, right? So make sure you do number 1. And then number 2 was kicking off the holiday shopping for both the B2C brands, right? As well as if you are a business, B2B, business to business company, then they need to spend their end of the year budget. So make sure you offer the opportunity to work with you because you never know. People need to spend the money or they need to buy gifts, and you could be the one that provides that service. And then again, the last tip was take the time in the next 3 weeks before Thanksgiving, before the holidays get crazy, and plan out your next year of what you're going to do, how you're going to show up on social media, how you're going to, sending out what your email. So we actually do done for you marketing services. And I'm so excited. I have copywriters and photographers and videographers and I have all these wonderful team members, and we actually get to help our customers map out their entire year. In fact, one of our newest customers, that's what they wanted. They wanted a whole roadmap, like a money map, so to speak, of what to follow so they could take advantage of the next year and not have to worry that they're making the wrong decisions or what they're going to do. So by mapping out what they're going to do every month of the next year, it's going to help them focus on the magic that they provide instead of worrying about all the logistics and the implementation and all the kind of stuff that you have to do. By just having a roadmap, you're just basically making a decision to take action, right? I think that's the bottom line, is that we just need to decide, thinking, if am I making the right decision? Am I doing this, or should I do this, or whatever? It gets muddied. You just have to decide. And then 3 months, 6 months, 12 months later, right? It will be this time of year next year. We'll evaluate and say, you know what? I made the decision to do these 3 things, and that was great, because saying in action is like a momentum, right? When something in motion stays in motion. I think we've heard that before. But if it isn't working, what a blessing. Oh my gosh, that doesn't work. We're going to switch gears and do something different. And you'll never know that until you try it, until you do something. So my encouragement for you at the end of the year is to decide to do something and then just do it, right? Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up. And again, I think all of you who are on here live, I'm pulling up my notes to see what's going to be next week. And so I wanted to tell you that next week on I think it's the 15th, I'm going to be going live again. And the topic is 5 places that people are wasting money when they're building their business. 5 places that you're wasting your money when you're building your business. So I'm going to reveal those 5 things next week. Again, I will do it at noon because I will be using this software, so I know it'll work. And that'll be at noon on all the channels. And I hope you'll be there to learn the ways that you might be using one of these 5 things I'm going to tell you about, and you could cut that out and just think all the money you're going to make because you're not spending money on something that's wasting your money. Yay. Okay. So that's all for today. Oh my goodness. I got some more little things. Oh my gosh. Somebody else. Wonderful. Yes. Ciao for now, Leanne. I appreciate it. I'll be offering an event as an experience. Yay. I'm so glad you got something out of that. And Michelle, hi girl. Yes, she does a vendor event every year and calls it Michelle's Favorite Things. And I showcase my favorite vendors for my customers to shop from. I love to help fellow vendors get business. You are so good at this, Michelle. I applaud you. I think that is amazing. In fact, I've always been impressed with what you do using social media to sell. She sells clothes, everybody. If you're looking for something cool and unique that for you or for a gift, you need to be a part of Michelle's Fab Finds. It's a Facebook group that she runs. And Michelle, you might have other things that you're doing now. You could put it in the chat. People can follow you. But it's so fun because when she's having closing sales, she'd be like, I only have 3 of these. I have 2 smalls and a medium. If you want it, and whoever posts first gets it. It's fun. It's like an auction. I just absolutely love it. Yes. So again, thank you, Michelle, for chiming in today. And we will see you next week for 5 ways businesses are wasting money when they're building their business. I want to help you guys save some money. So again, you're going into the new year with even more money in your pocket, which is awesome. All right, guys. Thanks again. God bless. And I'll see you next Tuesday at 12 noon. Yes. Yay.